my dear student. Hope you all are enjoying your studies and taking care of yourself. Also, watching all the videos connected to the chapter. Now today we are going to wrap up the complete chapter with the conclusion that what kind of development took place in the Islamic land by covering the subtopics agricultural development, commerce and trade along with the literacy. So let us see the next subtopic, that is agriculture. So in the Islamic land, the agriculture developed a lot, but in the beginning time period of Sasanian, they used to live in the nomadic life, and when they started living in the settled life, they gave very much importance to the land, and land became their only property. And then they started agriculture. Also agriculture was the main occupation for the territory which were newly established. So what was the custom in the agriculture? They used to pay the taxes also, and land was divided into small peasants, also large peasants. It means some peasants have big piece of farming land and some peasants have less piece of farming lands. And also there is an uneven distribution of the land. And after some time, when we see the Islamic people, when they started converting people into the Islam, they started giving the concession into the paying of taxes, and due to that most of the farmers and peasants, they started changing their religion so that they can get relief from paying of the taxes. But it became a kind of great loss for the emperor when they were following with this system. So they came with a new strategy of tax collection, that there should be a uniformity to collect the taxes from all peasants. And lot of development took place near the Nile river, where lot many agricultural irrigation resources were developed. So many canals and channels were developed, and also so many borings of wells were done for the irrigation. So in this way we can say that agriculture was highly promoted. Also new type of vegetable and crops were being promoted, like brinjal, cucumber, and other vegetables are promoted very highly, and also exported to the other part of the European countries. So this was the status of agriculture. Let us discuss about an interesting fact about a traveler. He was Ibn Battuta from Arab, covered over 75,000 miles. His wandering over a decade at a time, took him to the Turkey, Bulgaria, Russia, Persia and Central Asia. He spent several years in India, and from there he was appointed as ambassador to the Emperor of China. Ibn Battuta book Rihla, Journey, is filled with the information on the politics, social condition and economics. Let's see Islamic influence on Western and modern civilization. Undeniable contribution of Islamic culture on today's daily living. Great contribution to the science and transfer and preservations of the civilization in the dark ages of the Europe. Towards medicine, Al-Razi was the first to diagnose smallpox and measles. He promoted psychotherapy and warned patients of changing doctors, stressed upon the importance of the balanced diet for the good health, and also built a hospital in Baghdad. Now, towards the astronomy. The astrolabe was used to chart the precise time of sunrise and sunset, and to determine the period for fasting during the month of Ramzan. Compass and astrolabes were discovered in the New World. Al-Biruni discussed the possibility of the Earth rotation on its axis, a theory proven by Galileo 6th century later. In physics, Ibn al-Hatim al-Hazim was very popular. He suggested the damming of Nile River. He also explained the rainbow scientifically. He was the founder of optics. He explained excellent studies on reflection and refraction of light. Very popular gift given in the field of mathematics were Arabic numerals, uses of zero, algebra and algorithm. In art, fabrics, glass, mosaics and rugs were very popular in the time period of Islamic land. In the form of art, various pattern of calligraphy was adapted very fine way. And now in architecture, they were very popular in construction. That's why that time period was called as the Golden Age, because they adopted the construction of large domes, minarets, courtyards with the fountains and gardens. Also, intricate plaster work was very popular in that land. Hence, we conclude that art and sciences scholars at the houses of the wisdom and across much of the Muslim sphere developed standards and new thinking that are still part of today's research. Now, Muslim made contribution primarily in the areas of medicine, maths and science, philosophy, literature, art and architecture. So in Islamic civilization, we find number of cities developed and flourished. So among them were Kufa, Basara, Samarkand, Damascus and Baghdad. These were very popular cities, and the construction of these cities were very famous in the administration and economic work. So we can see around in the city, we can find some people bath areas were there. Along with that, in queue or in a series or lines, so many shops were there where people can do their shoppings. And at the center of all these shopping centers and complexes, mosque was the main attraction of the area. Now these were the way of their settled life in the urbanization. Islamic influence encouraged the growth of cities. Baghdad, the capital of Islamic land, located near land and water trade routes. Its city was walled and hospitals, observatories were built across the city. A library that was used as a university in that area. Cordoba was the capital in present-day Spain, and a strong economy based on the agriculture and trade was flourished a lot. This city was the great center of learning and also the center of Jewish culture. So, favorable geographical feature favored a lot in developing trade and commerce in the Islamic land, also by the Muslim empires. They followed basically sea route and ocean. Popular were Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Silk Route, Indian Ocean and the Persian Gulf. And from there they used to do the trading across the world from the European country as well as Asian countries. And what were the material which they used to trade? Popular one, gunpowder, and for textile they used to purchase their cotton, and spices were very popular. So in this way they used to do the trading, and along with the trading some exchange material was there, and they used to exchange their good with the currency, and their currency was in the form of gold and silver coin, and their currency is known by dinar. Now another very popular trading took place in their time period, that was purchasing of men and women, that is called as gulam, for the khalifas as well as sultans for their trading purpose or for their work. So Baltic region was very popular for doing these kind of trading under the Islamic region. Let us see at last towards the learning and the culture. As the religious and the social experience of the Muslim depend through the contact with the other people, the community was obliged to reflect on itself and comfort issues pertaining to the God and the world. For religious scholars, ulma, knowledge, ilm, derived from the Quran and the model behavior of the Prophet, Sunnah, was only way to know the will of the God and provide guidance in this world. The ulama in the medieval time devoted themselves to write sir and documenting Muhammad's authentic hadith. Some went on to prepare a law body to govern the relationship of the Muslim with the God through rituals and with the rest of the humanity through the social affairs. In framing Islamic law, jurists also made use of reasoning, since not everything was apparent in the Quran and life became increasingly complex with the urbanization. Let's do short knowledge checkup. Question 1. Who was Ibn Battuta? An Arabian ruler, an Arabian scientist, an Arabian traveler, or none of these? Second question is, name the region which was very popular for purchasing Turkish slave, that is Ghulam, for the court of Khalifa and Sultans. These places are Spain, Baghdad, Baltic or Sudan. Third question, a group of religious minded people in medieval Islam known as ulmas, Sufi, Khalifas or Sultans. Now answer all these questions in comment. Thank you for watching.